Let's talk about what is going to be the most impactful injury of any team for this season, and that is Micah Parsons blowing out his ACL. This one is just brutal in the short term. Like, yeah, the Mahomes one, at least you can have the thing of if he were to blow out his ACL at some point in his career, let it be in a lost season. But with Micah, nah, this is a brutal, brutal injury. I no longer see a way for this Packers team to make a Super Bowl run, which, again, some people might think is harsh, but I just don't see it. Because there's no formula, of course, to the postseason success. At some point, it's just a matter of you got to win 4 games against good teams, which is just hard to do. But if we were to quantify any reason that a team is going to have success in the postseason, it's two simple things: who's hot and who's getting healthy. Because no team is very rarely is your team going to be fully healthy heading into the postseason, unless you're the 2021 Rams. But other than that, it's who's hot and who's getting healthy. So the Packers, who were very hot, Jordan Love was playing absurdly good football. But this injury, I just don't see a way they can recover. Because Micah was covering up for a ton of the weaknesses we had seen in Green Bay. Remember, heading into this season, it was the Packers have a serious need for an edge rusher, and they need to address their secondary. So what do? You very much fix the edge rusher issue, and that starts helping out the back end of your secondary because Micah's going to get there in 2 to 3 seconds every time. He leads the entire league in pressures, I think, with 83. That is not going to be something they can just replace. There is no replacing Micah Parsons. And if you look at the rest of the pass rush, even this season, Rashawn Gary hasn't recorded a sack in 7 games. And he is somebody who was the best part of this Packers D-line before. Lucas Van Ness, a first-round pick for them a couple years ago, has not developed in the way they wanted him to. He ends up being a rotation guy for them. And now you're going to have these guys step up into the roles that they were going to assume had the Micah Parsons trade not happened, which is going to be insanely difficult and, frankly, an impossible task because they cannot step up to the role of Micah. They can be a part of that. They can be half of it, but they are definitely not going to be all right, well, you didn't even notice Micah was there. And touching on the secondary bit, outside of Xavier McKinney, who is top 5 safety in the league, not too sure. I think last year you can make an argument he was the best, but he's not been as good this year, but he's still a great safety. Outside of him, this is a cornerback room consisting of Keyshawn Nixon at your corner 1, which I think for most teams would just be their slot corner, Carrington Valentine, who's not great, and Nate Hobbs, who has been very much not great. So your secondary is pretty brutal, I'm going to be honest, especially if you look at the teams that they're going to be competing with and the receiving cores. And you now need that part of the defense to also step up and start to play better, which, I'm going to be honest, I think Keyshawn Nixon can step up. I really do like Keyshawn Nixon. I don't like him as a CB1, but I think he's a talented player. I know McKinney 100% can start covering up some other stuff. I know Evan Williams is amazing, and he actually went down with injury in this game. Hopefully they said it's not too bad, but it's going to be, there's too many parts of this defense that now have to step up. As much as I like their DC, I think it's going to be difficult for them. I just don't see it. And you have to remember, this is a team that already lost Tucker Kraft for the year with ACL injury. So you are losing the second and third most impactful players on your team. The most impactful player on your offense, of course, outside of Jordan Love, and your main weapon, your main security blanket, everything. Tucker Kraft was so good this year. And having him go down was already brutal. And now you're losing the flat-out just best player on your team. It sucks. And as far as just why it sucks for this year, outside of the obvious of your best player towards ACL, this was a wide open NFL/NFC, AFC, whatever you want to call it, right? There was no obvious contender this year. Even if you want to say the Rams, which I think we'll find out more in 2 days against the Seahawks, I don't think we had an obvious Super Bowl contender. And this Packers team, again, in my opinion, I remember I got a lot of flack for this when I said it. This was a team that had a top 3 roster, right? If you look at just roster, I think this team was in the top 3, probably even the top 2, as far as just sheer talent goes. Now, and now that not only does that roster gap fall, I think for this team, it really was just as simple as, can Jordan Love get hot? And from there, I don't know who could have stopped him. It would have been an insanely difficult path to stopping Green Bay because we already know that defense was clicking. It was a consistent top 10 unit outside of the Dallas game at the beginning of the year. And that offense, when Jordan Love clicks, is nearly unstoppable. It was a perfect path. Jordan Love was hot heading into this game. Granted, he did have 2 interceptions. This one, some of them not on him, or one of them not on him, but still. It really was as simple as, could Jordan Love just get hot? Because I think if so, I don't know who would have stopped him. So to try and do this next year, and one of the best, most talented defensive coordinators likely gone, I think Jeff Hadley will get a head coaching job. Frankly, he's younger, and he's just been a hell of a DC. He's been so good for them in the last 2 years. Oh, I'm sorry. Last year or last 2 years? I'm pretty sure it's the last 2 years. But to lose him when they're going to lose him, is going to be brutal. So not only that, and if you look at the NFC North, not only are the Bears going to get better, Caleb Williams is going to get better, and they're already a 10-14. So not only are you going to have to deal with that, you're going to have to deal with the Lions probably resurging, coming back, because all the foundational pieces are extended. They just need to do a little bit of retooling. The Vikings, I think, which you already see J.J. McCarthy getting better every single game, making steps, even having probably the best game of his career. I don't know if he had like a game in Michigan that would have topped the game he had against Dallas. So look through all of that and be like, that's who we're going to have to run up against. It's going to be brutal. This sucks. This was 100% their shot at it. And I'm not saying, that's not me saying the window's closed. Of course not. This is a very, very young, talented team for a reason. I'm just saying it is going to be significantly more difficult in the coming years than it was this year.